All right, guys. Sorry about that. A lot of setup today as I added another platform to be streaming on. So I was making a lot of adjustments. Today we'll be looking at my screen because we'll be looking up various mods and a bunch of other things. That being said, first let's start off by saying hola, ¿cómo está mi amigos, tous mis amigos, amis, señoras, señores. Buenas noches, glad you could make it. Bonsoir tout le monde, mes amis français partout dans le monde, on dit un gros hello. And I never forget about my English-speaking friends, our partners in the West. Where's my sound coming from here? Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Let's get that media turned down. All right. My friends, my English-speaking friends all over West, UK, all over. Hello. We haven't forgot about you. So get going on this. Yeah, I don't know about that screaming bird. Let me take a look at that real quick on the Twitch here. Oh, it's hot as usual, guys. I'm running a lot of lights. I probably should have put on my air conditioning, but I'm just so sick of the fans in the air. So I'll just sweat it out with you guys as we're dealing with an extremely hot and humid summer. Air conditioning, but I'm just so sick of the fans in the air. So I'll just sweat it out with you guys as we're dealing with an extremely hot and humid summer. Air conditioning, but I'm just so sick of the fans in the air. So I'll just sweat it out with you guys as we're dealing with an extremely. Anyways, in all honesty, there's no real need to share the links in the chat because I'll just be able to type them in on Google. So we'll forget about that just so we can keep it moving along, okay? Woo! C'est chaud en tabarnak de calice. Get this here. Yeah, I got it fixed, Hammer. Don't worry about that. I was in a rush, I try to make it on time. Usually I'm an hour and a half late. Today we're 15 minutes late, so not too bad. Let's get right into it. The way this one's going to go down is I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I'll say a few things about some different stuff. And from there, we will start taking questions, comments, and all that stuff from the chat. So here we go. First and foremost. Maybe I'll get the actual paper. Good. Starting with number one problem. Due to the Rag Nation or Ragnarok Extinction Core, we do have a couple players on the map that are level 135. There are two solutions for that problem. The first is very complex, and I do not want to do it under any circumstances. I could change all our servers to allow us to go up to 135. The problem with that is I have to manually adjust each level up from 1 all the way to 135. It's an epic job. It also means I have to change probably to expert settings on my 4 servers. Currently I only use 1 on expert settings. The disadvantage for me to expert settings mainly is that I can't make server changes without the server shut down. The timed restarts are sometime between 4 and 5 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time when I'm usually asleep. I do make changes. Now I can simply save them, and then it'll automatically apply those changes at restart. So I really don't want to do that work. The better solution for me, I know for sure based on tribe settings that it'll work with Winterhold, as well as the other gentleman that's from another tribe that's boosted up. That solution is for you to create a new character while I'm online, log in, and I will add all the XP to bring you up to the max level on the island. So let it be known that that is going to be implemented in order to ensure fair game. The only issue that could arise with this problem is that you've left the tribe, technically speaking. So if you're on the island and all your items are personally owned in your tribe and you leave the tribe, that creates a lot of headaches. I know that's not the case with Winterhold, like I said, so that's no problem. They just have to rejoin the tribe. So if you have a comment with regards to that solution, let me know. However, I'm quite sure that that will be the solution that I use. Next up on the list, server cleanup. This is a 2-part statement. Number one, we currently have a 32 player count on the island. Even though I buy the maximum quality server I can, my theory is, because I've seen it on other servers, if I was to say add it to 60 players, they move us on to a bit of better hardware. That's why, of course, there's a big price increase when you go from 32 to 50 or whatnot. and we'd end up with better hardware. The problem we're having now is during the day or when we're up to 10 or 15 people on the map, we still get 30 FPS on the server FPS. As I've explained to some people, the minimum requirement for lag-free play in server FPS is 8. Okay? Now with 10 or 12 players, we're running 30. When we start getting up to our peak times, we drop down to that real close to that 8 number. I've seen it sometimes spike down to 6. There's 2 solutions to this problem. Number 1 is add more slots, getting better hardware. Number 2 is keep the map cleaner. That's something we can all do together. There's a few reasons why our maps require real big RAM available. One of those reasons, good to know, Brune, thank you very much. I'm going to be reading the chat as soon as I'm done, and my part of this is very short. And thank you for that, though, Brune. I noticed that. I was wondering why I didn't go back up when I came back and other people did. But anyways, moving along. One of the solutions is to add more slots, and hopefully that would reduce lag. But with Ragnarok opening and my feeling that everyone's going to go there, I don't feel like adding slots right now is the right time. There's 2 problems with adding slots. Number 1, the cost. And of course, that's my little cat Tim, she's trying to tell me something, but I don't know if you can hear. One of those problems with adding slots is the IP address is going to change. So we're going to want to do that at a quiet time of night. It's going to have to be announced. The other problem is the cost. As many of you have contributed to the server, and there's a lot of dollars coming out of my own pocket, we don't want to be putting money in the wrong place. That's why we shut down the Volcano. That's why we shut down Ragnarok. We're putting $80 Canadian, or actually $106 Canadian into those 2 maps. For what, right? So we had to make a move. I got a refund on the time left for Volcano. I have Ragnarok shut down. I didn't get a refund for that because it's going to be reopening very shortly. So the best solution for now, until we get the population up, is pitch in together to clean up. The reason why we have high RAM servers, and by the best ones, is twofold. Obviously, the bandwidth helps us attract players from all over the world, keeping the server populated at 3, 4 in the morning when some people play. Another reason, though, is the settings. I've got it set so resources regrow in half the time. They regrow twice as close to your building. I have almost the limits on building sizes. I just added zeros. Okay, so you can place like 60,000 walls instead of 30,000 by example. Same goes for Dino Tame limits. I added zeros. I like big builds. I like looking at big builds, and I like people to be free to build. But it's very demanding on the server. And although it isn't confirmed, and I don't really believe it because it doesn't make sense, but I'll take opinions on this. Some guy on Reddit said that fast flyers also cause server lag, but that to me doesn't add up at all, because it would seem that if your flyer is moving faster, it's the PC that requires more power, not the server. I can't imagine why the server would lag, especially considering I believe the entire map is always rendered at all times, but the individual renders as you fly. So any points or opinions on that? What I'm trying to say is that our server settings create a laggy environment if we're not careful. We want big buildings. We want people to build whatever way they want. But at the same time, we don't want to waste server RAM on BS fireplaces and crap that's laying around all over. Okay. Now, see that fast Pterodon seemed to rubber band when sprinting. That is definitely, in my opinion, a RAM issue. I'm running a 1070 GTX, 16 gigs next gen RAM, a brand new top of the line motherboard, and so on. When I used to play on a lower system, if I flew through the jungle at full speed, I would lag. I never lag ever on my bird now at any speed I'm flying. So that's definitely based on your PC, not sure how it affects RAM. Moving on. The point of this story is until we add slots to the island, which we need to do now if we weren't opening Ragnarok, we all need to make our best effort. I'm talking about Zan. We've just started Zan. Don't even worry about it. It's on my list. So we all need to make our best effort to keep the server as clean as possible, especially when it comes to Tribe of Nations, because that stuff doesn't get deleted. Unfortunately, with Tribe of Nations, as you may know, there's a 7-day or whatever day automatic deletion timer on our server because of ORP. It may be protected when they're offline, but it will automatically get wiped off the server by on that server side. So what happens with Tribe of Nations is those timers never are always restarting because Tribe of Nations is everywhere. And the reason I do individually own is that I can know who the people are that are making a mess. So whenever I'm online, whatever, PM me on Discord, all as much information as you can as far as messes go. If you're in my tribe and you're rank 9 or more, or a decently high rank, you would have to carry a demo gun on you, please, and demo stuff without even asking me if it looks like scrap. Next topic, the aberration transfers as of tonight. Okay, when I add Ragnarok, all servers will get shut down to add Ragnarok to the cluster. This is going to take at least 20 minutes. They will be reopened one at a time. And at that same time, I will be making Aberration fully transferable under the same settings that officials use. So there'll be certain Aberration dinos or whatnot that can't go in there. I'm hoping that that will also block flyers on its own. Okay, so my hope is that if I pick the official default settings, that it's going to not allow flyers into Aberration. If it does, we're going to have to make some adjustments. We won't know this till we test it. That brings up the other quick topic on that issue. Do not, in the first hour or two, until at least I've tested it, start messing with the clusters. Give it a minute. I know you're all anxious to get over there. I am as much as everybody. But if you guys get stuck in the OB and all this other stuff, it's a lot of work for me to bring back characters, rank them up, and so on and so forth. Do not bring wyverns and prized animals on the first time going. Okay, it's not smart. The general testing period for a new map on a cluster to really get it figured out is 24 to 36 hours. So at least don't bring a character through until I have, and I've reported on Discord. And definitely don't bring through your high-end dinos for the first day or two until you've got reports. Okay. The ORP exploit is an uncertain topic at this time. I want to open the floor to that before I really get into it. I'm not 100% sure what the best solution is for this. Thank you. What? What? Are you sorry, what? You won't get wiped at Game Garden. It's a very... Oh, okay, sorry. Hey, Game Garden, yeah. No, you don't need to do that. The best way to figure that one out, Game Garden, is get yourself into the Discord and check out... I thought for a second someone was coming in here to promote their server called Game Garden. Anyways, the best way to deal with that is check out the hashtag all server info page and hashtag rules. Generally, we don't wipe anybody, even the dicks. Winterhold and myself have all talked about it. We love people that come in and mess with us a bit. That gives us our PvP action on the island. I've got another point to make about that in a second. And, you know, if you're a PvE tribe and you're always going to be PvE, and that's definitely your goal to do the playthrough, then put a PvE tag in your tribe name. I can't guarantee that'll keep you safe from trolls or random new joins while I'm asleep. But from the dedicated players that have been on the server for a while, we'll respect that. But you still need a few flower turrets and guns just for the random guy with a bow and arrow. We all saw that with Raptor in District 2 the other day, shooting his bow at the thing. That being said, we've got a lot of people that join for PvP, and they're not getting what they wanted and what they deserved on the island. As a result, Ragnarok will be a full PvP server. The debate will be whether to add ORP and whatnot. I believe that ends most of what I needed to say, guys. I'm sure new stuff's going to come up. Let's get some questions up, concerns, mod suggestions, you know, anything you guys want to talk about, now's the time. Of course, in the next Twitch, we will be doing the cave, but that's a little later on tonight. Probably have to have a cold shower just because I'm melting. So why don't we do this, kids? What do you got to say? What do you know? What are we doing? While you guys figure that out, get your questions up. I'm going to just run and get a quick glass of water here. Won't be long. And I will be right back right away. So no worries there. Let's just cut out this guy for a sec. For the Dino Tracker mod, that's going to be a full-on negative. The reason being, I come originally from official servers. I personally find that anything that makes the game too easy, we will not be doing. As well, I believe, once you get to tech level, that you can figure out something to find dinos. But for the Dino Tracker mod that makes it a lot easier, we won't be using that. We won't be using rare sightings for the same reasons. And there's a big philosophical thing behind that. If the game's too easy, people get bored real fast. Same thing with PvE. All these guys come up, they build, they tame stuff, and they leave. We are doing a playthrough. We are very long term, and the game to me is already easy enough. Being that I don't even like I don't like any of the mods. For me personally, I'd be running the exact settings as official. The only reason I don't play on official is because of the poor performance. Let's look up what rare sightings is, guys. Let's find out. Before we, as is a known factor, I always check for mod support, how active everybody is. An automated server event system, a limited number of. Actually, this sounds pretty interesting. Definitely something worth looking at. Okay, let's write this one down. Good suggestion. We'll take a look at it. It's gonna, before I add a mod, I do a significant amount of research, so we will take a look at that one, and thank you for that. See if there's any chat I missed here. Yes, Spyglass mod is garbage. We'll be changing it. That will also be changed tonight. Nobody likes it. I don't like it. I'm going to take a look at a bunch of them. And I'm going to debate, since the one who recommended that Spyglass that we're using is very close to me, then I will maybe try and run 2 Spyglasses to be able to keep that one. It has some kind of advantage. I don't remember what's so good about it, but there is an advantage there. Sabertooth with antlers is a no-go. Rainbow Raptor's no-go. Remember, guys, the mods, the reason why we don't run 20 mods, or even 15 for that matter, mods take a long time to load. Do you know how many percentages of people are running full SSD 1080 GTXs with 16 gigs of RAM and 120 like MPS internet around the world? Not a lot of our players. More mods, longer load times, more crashes, more downtime, and this is the reason why I'm very selective in the mods I use. Yeah, you know what, Game Garden? Kind of weird. As I'm looking at skins, and because I agree with that statement, I just find there must be something in the mechanic that makes it way easier for the modder to put that skin on a helmet, because they're really built around that. But I will do some more research because I'm into that. Having a lot of different outfits, and they're usually small mods. They usually aren't that damaging. So let's take a better look at skins later tonight. One of the reasons why Ragnarok isn't going up till midnight is at 7:30. I think we're doing a cave. I'd like to be off the Twitch by 10:30 and have an hour and a half to get everything set up and take a look seriously at these mods. Yeah, and the thing about skins is they don't affect balance, and they add a special personality to the game. That's why I'm a fan of those eco mods. But I do remember having the same thoughts you did when I noticed it when I used those cute hair skins for the first time. They're all going on top of the head, right? And let's just have a look while we're waiting on more questions here. At skin mods. And if there's one thing I don't like, it's the workshop search. Outfits, 20 mods. Okay, let's start by sorting by most popular of all time. We don't care about the latest week. And if we look at all this hat clothing. Not a whole lot, right? These are ones that come. These aren't even like actual. Not these are actual. You can get these, right? You see what I mean? Heads though, big selection, right? So this just gives you all the skins that are already in the game. Pimp My Dino's a no-go. Steampunk we're not looking at right now. And you see this is the outfit section. Look at bandana heads, you know? You see what I'm saying? Naked? Well, we already have that kind of. And that's it. My clothes discontinued. You know what I mean? If you guys can find something better than what we're looking at right now, go for it. But I really found this was the result of my initial searching. And sorry, I mixed rare sightings with like Dino Tracker on that. I realize it doesn't make the game easier. Apologies for that misstep there. Seems like the stream on one of my other platforms, the most unknown and apparently the one that's dying, is garbage. Just stopped all the time. Anything else, guys? What about this ORP exploit thing? I think the rule sums it up for me. I'm not going into it further than that. I know that Kuba, who I'm not even sure he plays anymore, raised a big stink over the so-called case-by-case, and you know, that's just a bunch of friggin' crap. Obviously, some guy's shooting his mouth off for nothing, but case-by-case means that not every situation is the same in the world, and you can't just apply blanket rules to certain things, right? I don't know if you guys are Star Wars fans, but one of the funny things about when they mention the Sith Lords deal in absolutes, okay? And in life, there aren't absolutes. And when you start thinking about absolutes, you close your mind. So it's not always that this guy went from A to B and this happened and it's going to be that way the same all the time. Every situation is a little different. And the only reason I used case by case was to leave it a little bit open to be more flexible. And that did not mean that friends of mine, hey Husker, what's up? That did not mean that friends of mine get different advantages. And let's just be clear, in real life, I don't have any friends, boys. And I don't have any friends that play on the server. I pride myself on trying to be fair and just, not letting my emotions get into decisions. And, you know, that's how it is. So thanks a lot for that follow. Much appreciated. Obviously, that's, you know, the more people in, the better, boys and girls. So we like that a lot. You are my friends. You're all players. I like all of you. But, well, you know, the point I'm trying to make is not that, right? The point I'm trying to make is different treatment for different people. I treat people the way they treat the server and myself. So if you treat me like shit, I'm going to treat you like shit. If you give me attitude, I'll give you attitude. If you're nice with me, I'm nice with you. Wording and the way you phrase things is a good, you know, good thing to think about. And as well, you know, I don't remember. I lost my train of thought there. So where are we at? So anyone really upset about the way ORP is working? I know there's been issues brought up about a certain tribe or individual that seems to be defensively logging off every time. Unfortunately, game mechanics are game mechanics, and it's definitely unquestionably if you attack someone and use log off to defend, things like that, you're going to have a problem. But if you haven't attacked anybody in a month and you're scared of bejesus that you're going to get wiped because of something you did in the past, it's tough call, guys, tough call. Again, I'm not sure about this. It was a tough one. That's why I didn't talk too deeply about it. Well, it sounds like this one's going to be short, unless we let's get those questions rolling in. Someone mentioned one here. Wait, wardrobe skins. Like, just type that directly. Let's try it on Google because Steam search sucks. Now this is looking a lot better, guys. Let's have a good look. Look at this. Yeah, so you like it. But let's get the info going here. And see what we're seeing here, which is what we want to see. An active author all the way up till July 18th. He's still commenting. He's commenting fast, right? That's a good sign. And also, we're not hearing people say, oh, this is broken, that's broken. We're hearing, hey, could you tweak this or tweak that? That's definitely the kind of information we want to see on the skin. We're going to go ahead and get that written down right away. And look, he's still developing it. Fantastic, right? This is the kind of mod we want to see when we're talking about mods. I like it. I like it. That's it, the Terraformer. Good one, buddy. Very good. I'm keeping cute hair, though, because that's the only way I get my Boba Fett outfit. Sure, Husker, no rush. Rag's going to be PvP with ORP, and there won't be a government there. That's all I'm willing to say about it at this time. Rag will be fully transferable all the way. And as well, Husker, what you missed is Aberration will be opening up its transfers at the same time tonight when Rag's installed. There'll be at least 20 to 30 minutes of shutdown while I make sure all the settings are correct. Then each server will be opened one at a time. And Aberration will be opened according to vanilla official settings, which hopefully means no flyers can go. And, you know, that's about it. Or whatever the officials are, I don't even know. But we are opening up Aberration, you'll be happy to know, this evening at midnight Eastern, roughly. I don't expect to be late on server shutdowns tonight, but it's a possibility. It's a pretty big job to get the clusters, and as is my policy at most times, is preparation, thinking things through, taking my time, and not rushing it is critical when it comes to clusters. Critical. Okay, let's get to Husker's question first. What about Aberration boss fight rewards? There's a limit to exactly how I control what's moved through the clusters. For example, Scorched Earth and whatnot. And those items, and I'm going to look into this, might be transferable through the tribute. And I believe with the tribute, when you put it in, anyone from your tribe can access it. And that may be the only way to move those things. I'm going to be looking at that in a big way. Thanks, Terraformer. Much appreciated. I know you've been commenting on my YouTube videos. I really do appreciate that a bunch. And just keep it up, man. You know, because I'm very new at this, and it's obviously was very difficult for me the first time to do these things. It takes a lot of self-confidence. And thanks to the amazing comments I've had on my YouTube videos, on Reddit, and in private messages, I've been able to keep going, get more comfortable, and run it. I'm not going to be doing, I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're talking about, Husker, but I'm not going to be adding, I'm already really busy and doing a lot of work, so if it's something that I got to do a bunch of uni files for to add something into, it's going to have to be pretty important. So I'm not sure I understand, but we use the official settings on cluster transfers, and will be for most of the maps from now on. And the tribute system does function. I've used it. My first time going to Scorched Earth, I put everything in the tribute section or somewhere like that, or data, I don't remember. And all my stuff made it. So although everyone says, no, you can't carry it, you may not be able to carry it on your person. You might have to put it in the tribute. Tribute looks like it's not there for a while. Like for me, it just came back like a little later on. So stuff I still need to work on testing, and I will get back to you. And once I know exactly how it functions, it'll be posted in the CrossArc section of the Discord. Events, yes, the first event is coming up next week. It's going to be called Catch the Tank. I will be myself, obviously not running cheats, but running with mainly health and speed stamina build. I'll be wearing full riot gear, ascended armor, and I'll be giving away parts of my position as I run around the island map, so you'll have to come there. And whoever catches me knocks me out. You can't kill me. It's going to be very difficult to knock me out, I think. So I'll probably leave no helmet on so you can make headshots with those trank darts, and no shoes. And yeah, we'll be doing our first events coming up then, and the events will probably be on Friday nights or Saturday nights throughout the year. And we'll probably do it in the afternoon-ish. So Saturday afternoon we'll do the events, and we'll do it around 3, which will be 9 p.m. in France, and that will give most of the international community a chance to do that. Yes, we'll be opening all transfers and adjusting all server settings during the cluster connection this evening around midnight Eastern Standard Time. Technically August 2nd. All servers will be down for 20 minutes. That will be announced on Discord. The other events require me to do rather large builds. The second event after Catch the Tank, the following weekend, is going to be an FPS shooter event in teams of 2, eliminations, so on and so forth. I've got the basic design down, and I'm building a special building for that in the middle of the water. That way we're not taking up space on the map. The prizes for the events are to be announced. No information on that yet. They will be decent though, but not game breaking, but damn decent. Damn decent. Ascendant stuff, blueprints, this, that. Well, obviously there's going to be an advantage there. So as opposed to doing anything for now but the level 135s, I'm just going to assume everyone's going to take a mind wipe. As well, custom painted dinos and perfect tame dinos will be event prizes too. The prizes are very flexible. Okay. What was I saying? I'm going to wait on the 135 thing. If I see anyone in the server with a 135, I'll be teleporting them and force feeding them a mind wipe. I don't want 135s on there, guys. So we got to get that fixed. And I know there's still one. I see them a lot. The show my admin manager shows your levels, so keep that in mind. Anything in here is information you guys can get by pressing Shift Tab. The only extra information I get is the manager level there. So. Actually, you probably didn't see that because I didn't have my game display up, but no big deal. Yeah, thanks, Screaming Bird Games. Much appreciated. I know at least a couple of folks followed me tonight. I didn't get that up, unfortunately, in front of me, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe just because I don't have my alert box running correctly or whatnot. But not a big deal. But I do know I did receive emails about it, actually. So I better check that real quick from my phone here. So a big thank you. Smelly Sneaker, thanks so much for the follow. Terraformer, thanks so much for the follow. Game Garden, thanks so much for the follow. Somnus Nix, thanks so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Actually, something to add real quick while we wait on maybe some more questions. This has been fantastic. I have not, usually, I have to run server ads every single day and spend all day recruiting people. That's pretty much, how it goes. But you see all the downvotes? This was at 30-some not long ago. Do you know why that got downvoted? Because people hate Biggz around for being around too much. And so what's happened is as soon as people have seen my name on it, they've started to push that down. Still running at 94%. Actually, doesn't make sense. Maybe it wasn't at 13. Oh, no, this is your new one. Your other one's at 30. My bad, my bad. Let's see the other one. Here we're 39. So running good. Nice pick, by the way. 42. 42 at 98% at a 1.1K views. That is the kind of those are the numbers we're looking for, bud. Okay, it sounds like just a discussion about rag. ORP is going to be on rag. We're in the clusters. ORP is pretty nice. You don't have to be in 6th place at once. ORP is staying on. No more ruthlessness there. Yes, so I haven't promoted anything since Sunday morning, and it's what today? Wednesday, Thursday, maybe. Today's Wednesday. Normally we would have lost 10 players or 3. No, that's exaggerating, but if I don't promote, server numbers drop. For the first time in my history of being a server promoter, because I never used YouTube and Twitch before, people are coming in without me doing anything. The big thanks for that, you know who you are the people that supported me at the very beginning of Twitch and YouTube and the Facebook when there was nothing there worth watching. Okay, and you got at least a couple likes on there. For Twitch, you had at least a couple followers. And that helped me grow to the point now where I'm getting about 100, 120 views per video. And out of those 120 views per video, let's say 100 on one of my streams, you're probably running almost a 2 or 3, 4% player gain. So the way things are going, I may not have to spend all my day promoting real soon. And that was sort of the initial goal behind why I set up the Twitch and YouTube. I call it like a circle. Some players join on Twitch, some players join on YouTube, some players join through Reddit. Then some people on the server watch the YouTube or the Twitch, and then that adds more players to join, and you get my point. It can grow exponentially without me having to make as big an effort. So thank you. Particularly the biggest thanks of all, without a doubt, goes to @SickChaos, who's been incredibly supportive of all my Twitches, all my streams. He's upvoted every single Reddit post I've made, comments, etc. And sometimes I'm surprised, I'll be honest with you guys, just to vent a little bit. I'll put up a post about the server and 10 of you upvote it right away. I put up a YouTube video and nobody does. So that's great. You know, my vent there is that if you can't afford to donate money, the least you can do for all the work I do maybe is upvote something or other and help me out. But to each his own. Not everybody has Reddit. And the reason my Reddit shit gets downvoted so hard, everybody knows Biggz, right? I'm all over the place. Steam, Reddit, and there's haters. Guys with 2 people in their server see my post lighting up. They're like, dude, you know? That's the unfortunate way of the world, right? Everybody knows. There's people that put others down to feel better about themselves. And there's people that put down others to feel better about themselves. It's a sad weakness. And then there's jealousy. There's a few horrible human emotions out there. Jealousy is definitely one of them. So there's no doubt. And then people think I spam and stuff. Well, I push the limit, but I don't spam. I read everybody's posts. I only put up something that applies to what that person's asking for. And a huge percentage of my posts aren't even promos. I just straight up help people answer their questions. So you can hate all you want, but I'm not doing anything wrong. But we do get downvoted, unfortunately. Because of Biggz. Biggz3333 has been on Reddit promoting service for years, and he's not well liked. It's fortunate for me that I follow every rule on Steam or anything will get reported. Yeah, tribes don't travel with you. If you're on a tribe, if you're in a different tribe on one server, you go back and forth, and you'll rejoin automatically that tribe. Sometimes takes a couple seconds. I think I mentioned that in the cluster video, but I'm not sure. And as soon as I master the tribute system, I'll make a quick video showing everybody how to do that and get it up on YouTube. On that note, make sure you're subscribed. It's no big deal to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the videos. I don't see that as being a huge effort. If you can, do it. If you can't, you don't have to. Play on the server no matter what. Well, except if there's only one way to get banned, I guess, more or less. Huh? Anything else, guys? Let's check the community on Steam while we wait and get a little work done. Group whistle's not working. You see, this is where we will. I'm going to do one of these. This is essentially how I promote my YouTube stuff. Whistles, what you need to know. There'll be a short one about whistles. Good afternoon, everybody. Big jam it. Share. Oh, yeah, thank you. You gotta love community discussion. They're about 9 seconds. Not even gonna get back there. Does it say group whistles not working? Give you an idea on how I promote the server is just combing, and more combing. And I guess we'll go about 5 more minutes, guys. And if we don't get any more questions, any more important stuff, we're going to cut out the Twitch. I'm glad we have this meeting. Of course, we'll be doing it again in 2 weeks. I was told weekends are better, so we will be doing it on a weekend from now on. Server Francophone. Sorry, buddy, wrong section. Follow the rules, please. Putting your Discord publicly. Anyone know what could happen there? Any thoughts? I'll tell you. When Greaseball goes into your Discord, realizes your servers are empty, and then tells everybody in PMs about how they got a nice busy server for you to play in. Don't be an idiot. Don't post your Discord publicly. I don't care how many bots you have. You can have all the bots that don't let a guy talk. You know, it's just going to be nice to you to get it going. This guy, we shared my admin video with him, you see? Looking for suggestions. Watch this video, bud. It'll help you out. And yeah, my content's not the best. It's not garbage. It's a lot worse. Alright then, so we're going to do, it's 4:57 now. By 5 o'clock, if there's no more questions, we're going to move it along. Shut down, and we'll see y'all for the cave tonight. For anyone who wants to participate, I really hope that, I know Sauce I don't think can make it. But I'm really hoping that we get Sick Chaos out there. We'll see, I'm late in the game to this guy because I was busy. Yeah, great. John the Hun, you can type in the chat on Twitch or YouTube. I would say Smashcast, but it's been just dead for I don't know how long. It just froze and never came out back again. And what was this guy asking for again? I think he wanted to try it. Boomer here, he is everywhere. Uses Discord and comms, ain't no pussy bitches. Nah, see, this guy's probably not going to like our tribe because he's really looking for PvP. And he also seems like a bit of a dick. You know, when you're talking pussy bitches off the start, it's not ideal, but we'll slap him one. This kind of guy that joins our tribe and leaves 5 minutes later because we're not aggressive. I was talking about it yesterday on just a random Discord chat to some people. Yeah, John the Hun, the only chats I'm monitoring are the platforms that I'm streaming on. I'm not looking in the Discord right now, so there's no point typing questions in there. Unless I see some questions in the next minute or two, though. You just joined, so I'll wait for you for a bit, but I'll have to get out of it. Raven Gaming, I'm not sure I understand. This is one of the great posts of the day here, guys. Is there a fix to brightness in this game without having to switch gamma every 2 minutes? Oh, John, up to you, man. I was planning to run this till like 6 o'clock. I have no problem sticking around. So, and even if we answer the question again, no big deal. No, and you know, people don't have to listen. So, let's bring it on, man. I set aside 2 hours, an hour and a half for this chat. We've only used 45 minutes so far. So, let's get her done. It's 2 weeks till the next one. And also for me, if you got to type all these messages to me and I got to answer them all, it's a little bit more work. So, what the hell? This guy's too lazy to gamma every 2 minutes. I like this guy's answer. And yeah, I got nothing up here since Sunday morning, and we're still adding players, so it's just fantastic. I'm going to just assume you're typing, John, and I'm waiting on you, boss. As for Riven Gaming TM, I was not sure. I'm going to start Riven, actually. I'm just trying to get that swell on a little bit first, work the gym a bit, you know. I am 41 years old, and I've been sitting in this chair for 15 hours a day for a while. But definitely getting on Pornhub just as soon as I can get those muscles up and the chest waxed. I feel pretty good about it, John. I think most people would. Right now, we do have that, but it's just me. And it could be pretty cool to have, say, like a concept. I'm going to write that down because I kind of like it. And for the island, you know, we don't mind a little RP. On Ragnarok, maybe not, because it'll be a little bit of a no-rules PvP, but for the island, I actually really do think that idea is fantastic. And we could have, say, one member from each big tribe. Like, you'd have to have at least, you know, a couple people in your tribe, or be very active if you're small. We could have one member from each big tribe on the council with a sort of system for that. I like it. I like it a lot. Any thoughts from anyone else? Bring it on. Yeah, Screaming Bird likes it. Hey, Mystic, how are you, bud? Yeah, or you get, yeah, exactly. You get all the smaller tribes of one or two to have like one person each, or not one person each, but like say there's 6 small tribes, they would decide on their own representative or something like this. I guess something like that could work. I like it. I like it a lot. I wrote it down. It's going to be in my thoughts. It's like one of the other streams, unfortunately, has also dropped out on us. If you want reliability, guys, it looks like there's one way to go, isn't there? I won't mention company names because I've heard skipped frames detected. I'm not sure what that's about. Looks like something's going on anyways here. I hope I'm still streaming on Twitch. I know I've lost it on both other. I'm absolutely not planning on removing ORP on any of the servers. Okay, Pyrotech, let's sort of work on this one here step by step. First answer is no, I will absolutely not be removing ORP from any of it. Oh, wait, Mystic, take your, Mystic. Mystic. We will not be removing ORP. I just want to see, am I live on Twitch right now? It feels like I've lost everything here. Yeah, okay, looks good. So we won't be removing ORP under any conditions on any of the servers, just because it allows you to be off the server and still be okay. Are you planning on no? Building off of John's question, what do we constitute as fair PvP versus unfair PvP on a no-rules server? There are going to be rules on Ragnarok. There are the rules of you can't abuse or exploit ORP, and I think that's it. So those would be the rules. That means that if you build and block something and someone gets mad, they can go blow it up. There won't be an admin having any meetings over that. And that just goes back to my main philosophy about rules. I know some people think it's great to have 30 rules on a server. All that means is I've got to judge 30 different issues as they happen. Whenever I have to make a decision judging something, so, oh, he was wrong, you were right. First off, that information is based on what people are telling me. Who knows who's honest and who's not, right? Of course, even myself will deliver information in a way that benefits me. It's natural human nature, and I respect people for doing it. What happens in the end, if I have to make a decision and I have to say, well, this guy's wrong and that guy's right, A, one of the players loses, and B, I lose. Because I'm going to feel uncertain, I'm going to have to think about it, and then I may end up hurting my promotions because I've made someone upset. Okay, and it just builds toxicity towards the admin. And who am I to be? I'm not a qualified psychologist who can tell every time if someone's lying. I've got a good gut instinct. I know enough about the game to know when someone's bullshitting me most of the time, but still, I'm not an elected judge or official. I didn't go to law school. Who the heck am I to be saying, oh, this guy's right and that guy's wrong? And the more rules I have, the more judgments I have to make. I've always said from the very beginning that I prefer the game mechanic to make the rules. The part, I don't know if you were here, Pyrotech, when I mentioned that the ORP thing isn't exactly up in the air. It's actually, I guess that's a good way to say it. The ORP thing is a tough one, okay? I haven't nailed down yet, but the rule is the rule, and it stands that way. Is there a way I can elaborate that more specifically? And fair PvP on Ragnarok, I mean, if you want to be a dick and go wipe out some guy that just built a little post, right, and has no defensive weapons, and they just put that there to store and move stuff, then go for it. You can do that. I will be on Ragnarok one day, though, right? And maybe my tribe will, too. Don't expect to be around too long when I get over there if you're an asshole. Same thing applies to Scorched Earth. There was stuff blocking an oboe I had to get to. You think I'm not going to C4 that shit and get it out of my way? You know? I don't spawn in the C4, though. I make it like everybody else. And I only removed one thing to get through it. One thing. I didn't wreck everything. That's because I'm an admin. It's not too nice for me to go around wiping stuff out. And I know I was a little unclear on that question, but it's because it's still a little unclear in general. I want as few rules as possible on my servers. That means less implementation of rules, less exploiting of rules, and it also means less judgment. And generally, the game mechanic can handle the rules. Generally. Mostly. Ideally. Right. Oh, nice. Everyone's getting on the screenshot trend now, boys. This one's not as good, though. Down. Garbage. What is this? What is this? So this guy's posting this screenshot after our guys posted this screenshot. Come on. Bring your A game or don't bring it. Time is running out for more questions, ladies and gentlemen. Keep them coming if you got them. As mentioned earlier, this Twitch is really just for us to quick talk about it. It's not a Twitch that's designed for the world to see, although some may watch it anyways. But the main point is for our community to meet up. We'll be doing it again in 2 weeks. Good to see you back, Husker. If we don't fire out a few more questions there, we're going to have to wrap it up. But I'm definitely comfortable sitting here another couple minutes, or as long as it takes till we do get everyone's opinion sorted out with. We're not doing it again for 2 weeks, so let's take our time on this one and get as many questions answered as we can. I'm melting and burning up here, but I'm not dying. No one's shooting at me. I got the park outside, so even if I'm a little hot and uncomfortable, it's not the end of the world. See how our new video is doing with 0 promotions. Probably pretty crappy. In-game currency, thinking about it. I'd say that's one of my favorite things to use. Is if you've been with ARC since the opening day back in alpha release, I can say something like this. It's a little further out. It won't be right away. Everybody. Just oh. Oh. No go pyrotech. Well, maybe you guys sort that out amongst yourselves. I wouldn't get involved in that. I already find that having an alpha tribe is tough because they can get to where the point. In our case, we're okay with Winterhold, but my last alpha tribe on the same concept was quite bossy with people about where they could build. They started putting pillars where they planned to build in the future, and it would be like 3 weeks, still nothing there. And every time I say, hey guys, like you're still blocking the spot, do you mind if I open it up? No, no, she's coming tomorrow, you know? So I'd move all the pillars, fuck this, and then they go back and put them. So I don't, what makes our servers attractive to a lot of players is, and our tribes specifically, is they're not being bossed around. They're free to do what they want. I can't control everything the alpha tribes does. You know, but it sounds like you're the kind of player that does like a very structured, rule-based server, and there's just not much chance I'm going to be doing that. We haven't had anybody wipe anybody so far, at all, right? I guess Sandman did a pretty heavy damage earlier, and now they're running scared and buried, and you know, you guys merged and figured that out, right? Without having a council, right? So. I don't want to add something we don't need. And we don't want people wiped, period, because it's a playthrough, but Ragnarok's not a map that needs to be done for the playthrough. That's one of the reasons it's going to be that way. There's 2 things I don't find are good with PvP. Is one, when you're just battling AI, that's not PvP, and that's the standard on non-ROP servers. And why we don't want the exploitation of ORP. The other thing I don't like about PvP is the griefing. Like you've just mentioned, it doesn't make sense to wipe people out after all their hard work. But until something like that even happens, I won't be addressing it. I only found out about the attack on that did real damage to you guys way after it happened, and you guys had already regulated that yourself by merging and counterattacking. So I didn't really need to get mixed into that at all, did I? I did only because, like I said, that it happened the same week as the Daredevil thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have gotten involved. Just when a pattern's developing, I got to step in and cool it off. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ryven. And I'm just never going to do it. And also, my priority job is to keep the community having people in it. right? I'm one guy. We're not five. We're not five admins, and the reason being is I'm controlly about how people administer servers, and I've seen so many horrible admins out there. Not only played with them, but seen the way they write things and the way they treat people. It's like shit. Like I own a server, so I'm special. I'm better than you, kind of bullshit. So I don't want other admins unless they're blood related, like my brother who doesn't do any admin stuff, but in the background he gives me his opinions, which I value. Sick Chaos, who does tribe admin stuff, but not server admin stuff, who's very trusted. I played with him before this server was created. You know, and he's a grandpa, mature. That's a key. Humble. That's a key. Okay. So I don't want to have more admins. And if I have a bunch of rules, I'm going to be just doing rules all day. I'm going to be dealing with messages on Discord all day saying this guy broke this rule, that guy broke this rule. Can we build here? Can we build there? And every minute I'm not working on promotion or playing or doing Ks or the things that I don't enjoy being. The point I'm really implementing, I don't enjoy being a judge and jury. I don't enjoy the drama and the arguments. You guys know that from last week. That's not the part of the game I enjoy. And in order for me to be able to be doing this 12 hours a day, I have to be enjoying it. So I focus on the things I enjoy. I enjoy promotion because it's extremely competitive, and I win at it every day. And I love winning. I don't care about money. I just like being the best. So I really enjoy promotion. I love making YouTube videos and Twitch videos because I guess I'm a narcissist. I don't know what that is, but I love it, so I do it. I love playing the game, so I play at night and do the Ks with you guys. So, you know, and I also like helping people. And another big benefit is the tribe way and the way we bring people together and people stay friends even after arcs. So what I'm doing all day are the things I love to do. If server admin becomes doing the things I don't love, like replacing dinos or because I wiped everything, got to fix this or got to go deal with this stuff, then it's a burnout, right? And I'm not going to spend $400 or $300 a month. 50 times 4 now, so 53 times 4, so we're at about just $200 a month. I'm not going to spend $200 a month to do something I hate. To sum that one up. Now, this council you speak of, who's ever the alpha tribe over there, kind of becomes that council anyways. I don't need to be into that, right? So, sorry to be kind of slashing your ideas right away, Pyrotech, but they're kind of counter to what I believe in, you know? Jesus. It's because I know you guys are watching, I can't type. Well, I guess that wraps that up. Pyrotech, I understand your last statement. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't want individuals to end up breaking unspoken rules that don't formally exist. It has to start happening before. It has to be a real problem before it becomes a problem. So an example of this is last week. We had one tribe saying that this tribe exploited ORP. The other tribe that was accused said, well, they did it too. It was becoming a big issue, so we made a rule, right? But I'm not making rules until the issue is an issue. I'm just not running a server like that. There are many servers out there, I would say probably in the 2,000 to 3,000 range, that use heavy lists of rules. And one thing they always are is worded like a bunch of assholes. You cannot build near the volcano. If you do this, you will be this. You know, like, all right. Well, why don't I go sign up for 1942 Germany while I'm at it too, right? Like, I'm here to play the game and have fun. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not going to be running servers with big lists of rules ever. It's not going to happen. And if people can't handle that, that's no problem, man. Luckily, there's servers that have that, especially with PvP. And they're the ones that are generally burned on admin abuse. They're the ones that are getting the admin abuse posts, man. Because an admin has to interpret a rule, a human, a player, has to interpret a rule in their best method. They then accidentally cross the line or cross the line on purpose. Then the admin has to interpret that action based on very little real evidence and then implement a disciplinary action. It's just all faulted right from the beginning, right? We don't have DNA, and I can't record. I mean, I'm sure it's physically possible with the right setup, but man, it would be a lot of gigs to record all the action on all 4 servers all the time, right? And somehow listen to people talking. Like, that's what you did. You have to implement a totally covered with camera police state in order to enforce these lists of rules that people have. And I understand everything you said. I respect what you're saying. And I know because it's kind of happened to you that there's a personal connection there. But I will insist that I run on the very fewest amount of rules possible. I count on the game mechanic to implement those rules. On the island, if you don't shoot anyone, you shouldn't be shot at. There's unwritten rules there. Okay, but they've all worked out fine. They get introduced in funny ways, like not by a list of dickhead rules. If something's in your way on rag, blow it up. This is called game mechanic. C4. Dinos that eat metal. No, I'm not going to prevent people from building. If it gets in your way, blow it up. And when I'm there, and believe me, my brother's going to be playing there, if he needs to get into a cave and something's in his way, he's not going to call me up and say, hey, Biggz, there's a wall blocking the cave. No. Boom. It's unblocked. They have C4. And don't do it. You know what? People that start blocking caves and spawning pillars and fucking around, like how many hours a day am I in front of the computer, guys? You don't think I'm going to find out and go in there and straighten it out when it happens? Who's been left behind so far? Yesterday there was a bit of action in the middle of the night. I was on it in 5 minutes, right? Yesterday there was a unique join during the day. Someone with a vac ban. Pretty quiet. A couple other people's joined. They're crewed up. I was already all over it. Rules are for admins that aren't adminning. They want to admin from their fucking iPhone or Samsung while they're out for dinner, so they need a list of rules and they monitor the chat and so on. It's never going to happen. So we're dumping all the talk about the rules. That topic's closed. Anything else? It's not grumpy. It's not grumpy. It's passionate about the concept. It's passionate about the point. Okay, and it's a deep belief that I'm not the judge. It's not fair for me to judge and to implement. And also that the game mechanic is there. There's no list of rules back in the day when you played Call of Duty on console because you didn't need it because the game mechanic took care of it, right? You know, these games, unfortunately, on PC, these multiplayer games, especially ones like Ark, they're all broken to shit. You do need some kind of rules in administering, but thank you, Screaming Bird Games. Much appreciated. Not everybody's always going to like me. That's not my goal. Whether it's my personality or just the way I am, and it's not a goal to get everybody to like me for sure. It's a goal to have a fun, fair, reasonable environment for everybody playing, and offer an alternative to the toxic PvP or the Pokemon boring ass PvE. And we've tried to do that. Every, whatever word you want to use, concept, business, has to adapt and change as it grows. And we're very open to adapting and changing that. Some of the topics brought up today, we just aren't necessary to adapt and change to yet. So things might be different in 2 weeks. I was saying it yesterday to a couple people. When the server was brand new for the first month, every week it was a totally different place. Different players, different this. There was a time when we had like so many 12-year-olds. For those of you that were there when Aberration first opened, you remember that one phase with all the kids. And it was like, I left. I bounced the island because I just couldn't take it. It was all children. It was crazy. And I mean, I had to ban people on Discord, because I was getting the weirdest messages that I have copied and saved just in case. But for liability issues, I had to get kids out of the Discord because they're bringing up the weirdest shit I ever heard as, just stupid stuff. And it was a week later, it was different. Now it's reached a more stable point because there's a core group of people. But now, instead of changing every week, it changes every couple weeks. And we might see more changes. We might see a new group try and take over for the alpha one day. We might see more people joining because of the growth on both YouTube and Twitch. And the more random people that watch and they're like, wow, that server isn't lagging, or wow, that guy's not a total dick, I think I'll try it out. Or mostly it's performance, though, I think, that brings people in. So the server will change as time goes on. The admin will adjust, and then if necessary, we'll look back on more rules when the time's right. Yeah, Brotherhood, honestly, I think Brotherhood's done a great job over there just keeping it quiet. But I mean, nobody's there, right? But, people are going to make it eventually. Aber's just not being promoted. I promoted hard when the DLC went on sale at $11. But at the price it is now, and the amount of players, Arc isn't growing right now, right? It's growing on mobile. It's growing big on Xbox due to cross-Arc play and work by the Windows Store. They had an Xbox sale recently. Arc development, Wildcard is putting tons of effort into Arc Mobile right now, so they're not promoting anything for PC. PC players, the growth is shrinking. There was a lot of negative reaction to the last DLC with the dino skins when people thought they were getting new dinos. I don't agree with that. Free stuff is free stuff. I don't care. I bought the game for $20. If you watch the sales, this game's very cheap compared to how many hours people put in. What's the value at $20 and 4,000 hours, right? How many hours of movies could I watch in a theater? How many beers could I drink in 5,000 hours versus $20, right? So the values here in the game, I don't appreciate the people complaining about it. But the fact is, it's getting harder and harder to get ARC players until the next sale goes on and the new wave of noobs come in. And Wildcard will get back. Wildcard does. That's how they work, and it's a good business plan. They release ARC Mobile. That's a big moneymaker for them, of course, because it's pay to win. Follows the standard model for mobile games. So they're going to push everything they got into that. It's all over their Twitter site. It's all they're working on. They're working on Xbox, and then when it gets closer to the release of the new DLC, we'll start getting back into PC promotion, hopefully. All right, guys, we're going to do a 2-minute count now. It's 5:28 in 1 minute now. In 1 minute, we're going to end this community discussion. I thought it went really good. I big time appreciate everybody coming in for it. Obviously, without the community, there would be no community. As Chaos once said, and it's in regards to that wiping topic, Pyrotech, is Raiders play alone. We don't play alone because we're a friendly community that helps out people. And we don't play alone because we're just generally good people all around. So thanks to everybody who's helped me out with follows, donations, subs on YouTube, joining into these kind of Twitch conversations to get the topics brought up. And, sometimes you guys, like Husker especially, you'll ask a question, and that might motivate or make someone a little less shy, and they might ask a question. So even if you're an outgoing person asking questions, it helps get those more shy people maybe into it to start talking. So, again, So much love to everybody that's been supportive of what we're doing financially and with the follows. Don't think for a minute I forget you. I always remember you. I appreciate that. Ragnarok will have full transfers according to official settings, as well as Aberration at launch tonight. Launch is at about midnight. I expect to be on the cave till almost 10:30. Well, maybe less, but I'll be doing another Twitch shortly this evening. So y'all are welcome back. Come on, make yourself at home. Have a seat on the couch, man. Get in here. I got beers. I got room keys. So y'all are welcome back to watch the cave Twitch. For those of you that are actually playing in the server, you're welcome to join us to do the cave. Doesn't matter what tribe you're in. After the cave tonight, I will be taking a short break and then working real hard on getting Ragnarok up and running. This will require a full server shutdown of all servers just before midnight. We'll cluster Ragnarok in. We'll open up the transfers on Aberration completely. Ragnarok will have a full open transfer. And the reason being is something I talked about already. It was a bit of a fail when we did the Volcano and Extinction Core because you couldn't move stuff around, so it would throw off the balance, and what's the point of a cluster? So my goal for this Ragnarok 2.0 was to make sure that we had a cluster that can function correctly with the other maps. So that should answer that for you, John. And as we did catch a question just in time to continue, interested in the cave, I checked the schedule, but I think it was 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I should definitely be on time for that. I got 2 hours to prepare, so. We'll now cut the Twitch at 5:33 p.m. in 2 minutes, assuming there is no more questions. For everybody that was involved, thanks again, and don't forget to check back in if you're new. We'll be doing another Twitch tonight. Don't forget to check out the other platforms where I put up my videos. Be happy to have you subscribing and liking there. It's the reason we do it, or I do it. So we have 1 more minute until I end the Twitch, guys, assuming there's no other questions. Next community chat will be in 2 weeks on Friday or Saturday. I'm sorry for those of you that are in other time zones because it gets really late. Well, great. We'll see you there then, Screaming Bird Games. Yeah, I'm not even going to read that question. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Raven Gaming, but obviously that's just understand that I'm living in a city called Montreal, Canada. I worked in the restaurant business, and unlike a lot of people, that means I've been surrounded by people from all over the world my whole life. If there's one thing I've learned, there's dicks in every community. Doesn't matter where you're from, but most human beings, regardless of where they're from, just want to be happy, want security for their family, and want to be free. So just to give you a little bit of an idea on my policies as far as offending people because they're different goes. And I believe, and I've traveled all over the world, Europe, the South, and I believe I live in one of the greatest cities in the world because of how we get along with each other. I live in a neighborhood that's a mix of Haitian, Arabic, white, and Asian, and there's no group that has any more clout than the other. Great, so on that horrible choice of words by Raven Gaming, let's end the Twitch. Thank you all for joining. Hope to see you on the next one, and hope you have yourselves a great evening tonight when we get to that cave.